We're back here live, the FlairBar.com show in New Orleans, Tales of the Cocktail 2011. In the FlairBar.com studio, behind our Flair Bar, we have Mr. Bobby G back again.
Hey.
Bobby, welcome.
Hey, Rob, thanks, man.
Oh, thank you.
You know, earlier we were talking about cocktails, and I kind of got, you asked me, so what's your go-to cocktail when you go to a bar, and I started in on the Manhattan, so I'm going to show you Manhattan, but really, you know, a lot of times you go to the bar, and, you know, well, they talk about, when you look at cocktails in America, and they say the #1 cocktail in America is the margarita. And I think when people get that image of cocktails, that's what comes to mind. But, I mean, really, when we look at it, highballs are the thing that most people serve. So a highball is simply a spirit in a mixer, and that's all it is. And my favorite is with ginger ale. So that's always my go-to. So I'll go to the bar, and, you know, and especially when you're thirsty and you just want something nice and quick. And just start with your measure of your favorite whiskey, and the Devil's Cut is a great one, and I use this for everything. You know, U.S. government does say the standard cocktail is 1.5 ounces of 80 proof spirit, and that's our Drink Smart message for today.
Brought to you by Bobby G and Being Global.
There you go. And ginger ale, I really like Canada Dry. It's got real ginger flavor to it, and you know, today, of course, ginger beer is really making a comeback, and it's just a fantastic thing to use, you know, and listen, people, wherever you go in the world, 7-Up and a splash of Coke is not ginger ale. Okay? There you go. So, you know, a simple highball like that is just really refreshing, but I like a little bit something more to it. And so I'm always going to add a little dash of Angostura bitters, and that's why I always carry my own, because sometimes you can't find it. So this one here is sealed, and I should have opened it before we started, but there we go. Got it up. Couple dashes of bitters, and my friend Murray Lovers, a whiskey professor, he dubbed this one the BBG. And so I don't know if it's in honor of me or if it's just because it's bourbon, bitters, and ginger ale.
Nice.
You know, fantastic cocktail. If you want to put a garnish on it, a lemon wedge, or get a nice channel knife and just look at that beautiful zest coming across, and just right over the top, a nice little piece of lemon peel. And you can take that and give that a little twist, drop it right in there. There you go. Something nice, cool, refreshing. Get us started. Works for me. That's great.
Oh, perfect right now.
Yeah.
Love the BBG.
Nice.
Also, we were talking about earlier in the break, you were talking about virtualspirits.org. What is that?
That's our online training program. You go to www.virtualspirits.org, and you get in there and you'll build your own password. There's a dashboard. You build a password. And you go in and you get online spirits training. We have all of our experts are on there teaching about the category, and then you also get to see some of our brand history, which, you know, Jim Beam has got a great brand history. It's fantastic. You know, we are the first family of bourbon. You know, Jacob Beam sold his first barrel of whiskey in 1795 on July 4th. That's a whiskey to celebrate with. So, not only is it good whiskey, it's your patriotic duty to drink Jim Beam. There you go. So, let's get to the Manhattan, all right? My favorite cocktail. I just love it, and you know, it's such a beautiful thing that, you know, a lot of times when we're looking at bartenders, you know, and when you're behind the bar, your signature move is always your shake. Mm-hmm. You know, the shake is your signature. Just, you know what I always say, shake it hard and shake it with a smile. That's what you got to do. But you know, Manhattan's, you know, stirring can be every bit as sexy. And what's great about the Manhattan, you look at the history behind it. Again, you know, going back in the history, 1874 is the date that we're looking at here, and it was a cocktail that was created in the Manhattan Club in Manhattan. So you got the Manhattan in Manhattan at the Manhattan Club. And so why is that important for all you young bartenders out there? A Manhattan is whiskey, sweet vermouth, and bitters. Now, dry Manhattan is whiskey, dry vermouth, and bitters. And then the perfect Manhattan is whiskey, equal parts sweet and dry, and your bitters. So the common denominator in all of that is bitters. So if you're not using bitters, you are not making a Manhattan. It's that simple. There's, you know, other great bitters that are out there. You know, Joe Fee and the Fee brothers have been around for hundreds of years making this product, and you know, they have some of this Aztec chocolate that is really good. And you know, if you want a little bit of that chocolate essence to come out in your Manhattan, it's a great thing to use. But you know, I used to walk into the bar all the time, and I would say, "Hey, I'd like a Jim Beam Black Manhattan." Okay, and they would shake it. I'm like, "Oh man, all right, I need to learn." So that was a learning lesson for me. So I walk in, I'll go, "Okay, I'd like a Jim Beam Black Manhattan stirred straight up," and they would shake it. I'm I'm like, okay. I'll go in and say, I look around. Oh, Maker's Mark. Fantastic. Got nice cherry notes come out of that Manhattan. So I'll have a Maker's Mark Manhattan stirred straight up. Then I have to say, with an extra dash of bitters. Hoping that they would realize, go, oh,
bitters in there.
And, then they wouldn't. So that's why I continuously carry this with me wherever I go. So I always have my bitters. And now I walk in and I'll say, hey, you guys got a bar spoon? Oh, yeah. Oh, perfect. Here's what we're going to do. A couple dashes of bitters. I want a half part of my sweet vermouth, and I want 3 parts of my whiskey. Oh, so you want a Manhattan? Oh,
hey, fantastic now. All right.
So that's how we do it. We start with our bitters. I like 3 to 5 dashes, whatever you prefer, because you should always drink your cocktail the way you like it. Now, if you like your Manhattan shaken, great. Ask for it shaken. But, what I say to a lot of people, especially your cocktail servers and your bartenders, if you send a Manhattan out to a table, stirred, and someone, I'd really like to have that shaken. The bartender can come back, shake it really quick, and put it back out. But if you send it out shaken, you start all over, and now you've just lost that cost there. So I really like the Martini and Rossi in my Manhattans. I know, there's a lot of great vermouths that are out there. Carpano Antica is really popular today. It's really making a big push, in the U.S. market again. I think it's a fantastic product, just on the rocks, a nice slice of orange. I think it's just delicious, But for my Manhattans, I want a little bit brighter notes, a little fruity notes. And Martini Rossi does a great job. And you should go no less than 3 to 1. And if you have fresh vermouth, and remember, it is wine-based product, so whenever you use it, always put the cap back on. And what I tell on-premise accounts, if you can take a 375-liter bottle and consistently use it in 2 weeks, then go to a 750. If you can use that consistently in 2 weeks, go to a liter. Because the cost that you're going to save is pennies per ounce. And if you get a big bottle that goes bad, you don't make a good Manhattan, nobody reorders it, and you're actually losing money by trying to save pennies.
What are your thoughts on actually keeping the vermouth in the fridge as well, being capped?
I like it being refrigerated, especially at the end of your shift. What I would do, I would put it in my cooler. If I was working behind the bar, I'd have it in a cooler, and then when I needed it, if I knew I was going to continuously use it, it would be there. But for the most case, I would definitely keep it refrigerated, because it is wine-based, wine oxidizes. So there we go. I'm going to go about, we'll call that 1 part. Like 1 to 1.5, and then our whiskey. The Devil's Cut is going to bring some great notes out with that extra wood that's in there. So we got about a 3 to 1 ratio there, and that's where I really like it. And then, of course, your ice is going to make a difference. There's a lot of talk about different types of ice cubes that are out today, and spheres and blocks and cold draft and all these little ones. And this really truly is my preferred ice cube. This is Hoshisaki style. This little half moon here. When your ice machine is working properly, your ice should be cold, hard, clean, and dry. And that's what you're looking for. So this will put more ice cubes into a glass. And that's what it's designed to do. So you have more ice into the glass, which gets it colder faster. There's that dissolution, that illusion that people think less ice is less dilution. But it's not, because if you have less ice in there, it's going to dilute faster.
Because
more
temperature,
ice.
True.
Ice keeps ice cold.
I never
It's
thought
kind
of
of the way
that.
it is. So then we're going to go give that a stir, and I stole this beautiful bar spoon from the CC Heritage House there. Thank you, Tish. That's one for her. So, stirring, you see a lot of people just not trying to jam it. It's a delicate. It's nice and easy, and I mess people up when I tell them, listen, all you need to do is pinch it between your thumb and your forefinger, put your middle finger behind you, push it out, and pull it back. That's all you're doing. And rotate it. And I'll see people in there, and they're all concerned about the rotation, and it's just very simple. Get the back of the spoon in there, get it down, and then just a nice turn. And you'll notice that when you fill your mixing glass with the ice is above the liquid. And once the liquid and the ice come together, that tells you that you got your proper dilution. So I'm just going to add this right into there. That's perfect. A little dump bucket. There we go. Perfect. We're going to use that ice again. We don't want to put that in there. So these beautiful mixing glasses, you can get them at cocktailkingdom.com. Mr. Mojito, M-I-S-T-E-R. My friend Dave B. Paul there making great muddlers. He has these there as well. It's just sexy, And people notice when you're at the bar and you're making that drink. They're just perfect. You know? So, standard, you know, most people like to put in that maraschino cherry, and then you see a lot of, you know, like the Luxardos have their maraschinos that are aged, and they bring them out, and you can always make your own aged ones. But, you know, a great way of doing it is just a nice lemon peel, and I'm going to have you be my tester. Your eyes are going to tell the truth. So what I want you to do is just go ahead and give that a taste the way that is.
Okay.
All right? And I'm just going to take just this little peel here and just give that flame peel right over the top. And we'll drop that right in. And go ahead and see what that little bit does, how that changes that flavor. First, the aromatics are right there.
Oh, yeah. You can see the oils already spreading throughout it just by looking at it. Oh, yeah, definitely right there. Definitely right there.
It's such an eye-opener for people because, you know, the little things behind the bar matter. And something that small really makes a big difference in a cocktail. It can take a good cocktail and turn it into a great cocktail. And remember, that's what we want to do is, you know, just impress our people and have that going for them, you know. So, great thing to do, you know. Easy way of making cocktails, fun way. I better make sure I did okay. You know, that's just good.
Perfect. Well, Bobby, thank you very much.
I appreciate coming out, man. I always enjoy it.
Beam Global, great company, great spirits, and to learn more, check out virtualspirits.org. We'll be back right after this.
That's awesome.